So the Ballistic Tough Jacket Maxx, I like it. Which is kind of odd because the last time I reviewed a tough jacket, which was this one, I liked the Urbanite way better, but it's the other way around this time. Monty, what was the word that you used to describe the tough jacket? Kick ass. At MobileReviewsEh, Monty and I base all our reviews on actual usage, and apparently if you review things long enough, you end up with a pile of old cases, which ends up triggering old memories of how much you liked your hair when you had it shaved. Look at that glorious short-haired, mildly overweight reviewer. So jealous of his hair. My haircut was scheduled for yesterday, and I can feel my hair crawling out of my head at 4.6 yoctometers per femtosecond. Now before I get on to the guts of this review, I do want to point out that the Tough Jacket and the Tough Jacket Maxx are basically the same product, except for the Maxx comes with a belt holder for all you belt holder needing people. The new Tough Jacket is a tight fitting case, and that's a good thing when it comes to cases. You want them to be tight so stuff doesn't come out, namely your iPhone. Remember my biggest fit complaint with the Urbanite, the area around the buttons? Yeah, that kind of happens with these cases too. On this iPhone 11 version, but on this 11 Pro Max, it's pretty tight. So whoever was on QA/QC during that period with the TPU molds probably called in sick, or I don't know, got fired or something, because yeah, quality. Now the first iteration of the Tough Jacket was more like the Otterbox Commuter. It was a polycarbonate core wrapped around a loose piece of TPU. This was a brutal case design because basically anything would get between your case and the TPU, which, you know, would end up in scratching. Remember, tighter is better when it comes to iPhone cases. The Tough Jacket is basically a polycarbonate sandwich, as there are two layers of TPU that sandwich a polycarbonate core. This ensures that the case doesn't slide around easily, which is nice. You put your phone down and it doesn't go anywhere. Now in general, the tougher the case is, the bulkier it is, and the Tough Jacket is no exception. Big bulky corners add to the width of the device as well as the thickness, and the extra layer of TPU on the back also doesn't help with the thinness, but you know, how else are you going to protect your iPhone from a 14-foot drop if you're not slapping on a ton of materials onto it? Now as I was writing this video, I realized that I've got this case called the Ballistic Hardcore. This was for the iPhone 6s, and remember, the bulkier it is, the tougher it is. The Hardcore itself was pretty tough, but then Ballistic threw on a like silicone sleeve on top of it, and so this thing was at the time the king of the tough cases, because between the Defender, Griffin Survivor Extreme, this one I would say was the toughest, but Ballistic kind of disappeared for a couple of years. Now they're back, and I would have to say that this Tough Jacket is going to be better than the Defender. No. So if you're finding these videos useful, consider getting all your stuff through my Amazon links. This is video, I don't know, I'm pretty sure I'm close to 30 now. So it's been a month of doing a review video every single day, and I think this pace might be sustainable. Might be. I don't know, it's a lot of work. So if you appreciate what I'm doing while everybody's sitting, you know, twiddling their thumbs because everyone's in isolation, just get your stuff through my Amazon links. That's just the best way to help me keep this channel going. From wear and tear perspective, the Tough Jacket is going to handle everyday usage very, very well. The TPU corner is going to take a lot of scuffing to look brutal, and if you do manage to scuff up the corners, Ballistic has included removable bumpers from this material called B-Shock X90, so you can kind of clean up the look of your case a bit, depending on how scuffed up it gets. Also, B-Shock X90 is also the name of one of their cases, so Ballistic really needs to hire a new marketing person. Seriously, what does B-Shock X90 actually mean? It's such a mouthful, B-Shock X90. Overall, the texture of this case is very nice, and as I said with the Urbanite, the build quality of these cases is spectacular, minus the occasional volume button area that is not fitting well. Now, for whatever reason, when I look at cases, I pay attention to, you know, how stuff like fuses together, and there's this part at the bottom of this case where there's like a TPU like U, and then there's like the polycarbonate core and then the TPU backing. Like this part on a case just looks so awesome. I don't know why I like it so much, but like it's just so well fused together on these Ballistic cases. Like the build quality is just top notch. Now, if I was to be super duper picky and I didn't dock any marks for this case, is that the only thing I would change would be to make this case more like the Urbanite. Right now, when you pick up the phone, this is all polycarbonate, so it's very slick. If they were to extend out the TPU, this case would just be so awesome. Now, as I said earlier, the Max version comes with a loose belt holster. No, when you clip it onto your belt, it doesn't make this noise. The belt holster also acts as a kickstand so that when you're watching The Office for the 4th time this week, because, well, isolation, I had no issues with the screen access as the edges of the case taper along the center of the iPhone. The edges also have a nice angle to them, so you really don't notice them, despite being thicker. The port area is large and the camera area is unimpeded. When it comes to one-handed usage, it's actually very doable with this case despite the bulk, because the texture, there's just so much texture on this case. Oh, so great. When it comes to protection, the multi-layered case is going to offer your iPhone a lot of protection. In fact, as I said before, it's going to be tougher than the Otterbox Defender from my perspective. There's way more layers. The Defender is just polycarbonate and then a TPU sleeve. This is TPU, polycarbonate, and then TPU again with their B-Shock X90. It's got a lot more materials to absorb shock. Now, as I said earlier, the tight edges of this case are going to prevent dust and debris from collecting between the case and the iPhone, and the oversized corners are going to provide extra screen protection for you. On this iPhone 11 right now, I've got a Rhino Shield 3D Impact screen protector, and it fits this case just so nice, so tightly. I'm using tight a lot in this video. This combination of the Rhino Shield screen protector and this tough jacket, this is going to be a tough combo to beat in terms of overall protection. Now for drops, the iPhone is going to be protected, as I said before, that X90 thing by Tony Horton in the corners. There are air pockets along the top and bottom of the case and TPU along the edges, which means you can basically do anything you want to the iPhone, drop it, and not have to worry about it breaking.
That's the screen protector. See? Screen protector.
So that's all I got for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching me trash an iPhone, kind of. Val did most of that. If you're planning on getting this case, make sure you get it through my Amazon links. I've been working hard to try to get you guys a discount code for these products, but we'll see kind of how it goes. No one's really saying anything during this time of isolation. This is one of the videos in my isolation video series. If you want to see what else I'm doing, go check out that playlist. Basically doing one review video a day. I've got 90 left. I spent the entire, I spent all of last year with longer hair, and then I was just like, maybe I could save some money by having longer hair. No, I still had to get a haircut every 4 to 5 weeks. And so at the beginning of this year, I was like, I'm just gonna go back to shorts. I liked it. It was better that way. But now that we're on isolation and, essential businesses have all been shut down, I can't get my hair cut. So it's just like, yeah. Though Monty did get an eyebrow trim last night, and I missed a couple. Process of trying to figure out what iPad cases to review. These cases with the edge, this annoys me greatly. Remember my biggest fit around. Remember my biggest overall the texture of this case. Ooh. The belt holster. Blah, blah, blah. Still good. Audio still there.